In this first episode of Heart Body Business, we're going to talk about what this concept really means and why, if you're an entrepreneur who loves the idea of growing a successful business, but you want to make sure you're the one crafting what success means to you, this may be your podcast. Here, our goal is to help more entrepreneurs express their true passion and purpose in a healthy way through the activity of business. Heart Body Business. This is the Heart Body Business Podcast. Inspiration, tips, and tools for entrepreneurs seeking a more fulfilling type of success. One that stems from exploring and expressing their true passion and purpose and finding healthy ways to do so. All coupled with insights and action items to get a business moving in the right direction. I'm Steve, your host, and I invite you to learn more at heartbodybusiness.com. So, at a high level, what is Heart Body Business all about? I say this in a loving way, but in a sense, you've been lied to every time you've heard about body-mind or mind-body anything. Now, I don't mean you've been intentionally lied to, and in many cases, the intention may be absolutely correct, but the wording is wrong. What do I mean by this? You are not your mind. We'll go more into this in future episodes, but you are not your mind. Your mind is a tool for your greater self, what some might call your higher self or your spirit, or whatever term you might want to give. But when the mind takes rulership, you're in for a ride, and not one that necessarily gets you where you really want to go. No doubt, any mistakes we make, including letting our minds rule us for a time, are things we can learn from, things we can grow from. This allows for wisdom to develop. But when you want to steer your life's direction, you move through the heart. This is the means by which we're in touch with who we really are and what our purpose is. This is why this podcast is not called Mind Body Business, but Heart Body Business. We act from the heart. So a big part of our conversation is about exploring what we really love and what we really feel we're here to do, and then aligning our business activities to that. It doesn't mean we cannot continue in a business venture that's already financially successful, but it might mean altering its business activity or societal contributions, maybe our roles within the business, and so on. After all, how on earth are you going to be happy to feel and express joy and lift the world around you if you are unhappy with the primary activity of your day, if it doesn't excite you to the core? In most cases, this isn't an overnight endeavor, lifting the veil of expectations and even the masks we've put on to build the life we have right now. And in most cases, our purpose changes as we have new possibilities arise before us. Not the core drive, the core love behind our lives, but the ways we can express this. These can change. So it's an ongoing process to explore what we could and should be doing to live our lives to their highest potential. But by at least pursuing it, we expect to come always closer to real happiness and our greatest possible legacy. As we become clearer about our purpose and passion, perhaps we're more driven than ever to run a successful business, and we want to pour even more into it. This is fantastic unless it drives our health into the ground. Long term, we cannot be useful to society if we haven't cared for ourselves. Health needs to be the first outer expression of what's in the heart. We move from the inside out, from the heart out into the body, and even our environment and our relationships as our extended body. And from here, we move finally into the joyful and now sustainable activity of business. So part of this podcast is about rethinking our lifestyle habits and our surroundings and our interactions with others. I encourage the use of tools for improving over time because I don't expect anyone to change overnight in this way. People move in steps. And to be successful at this, we need accountability. You can always hire a health coach or trainer, and of course, I wouldn't discourage anyone from doing so. But one thing I'll talk about is the use of habit trackers coupled with accountability to results. That is, having a carrot and stick process to motivate follow through. I do this myself, and I post my own results each month on heartbodybusiness.com. Anytime I miss on something, I add to what I call a value pool. And as it builds up, I draw from that pool to do things for subscribers to my mailing list. Maybe send someone a book or provide some other product or service that's related to our topics here. So it costs me financially to fall short of a goal. Naturally, this motivates me to meet my goals. Of course, I want to do amazing things for my subscribers, but it costs me. So I'm motivated to meet my goals, but if I miss them, I'm able to further support this group that I consider to be so important. So it's a win-win. And I encourage you to set up similar accountabilities like these, as well as rewards for when you do succeed. Keep in mind, this isn't just about exercising every day. As far as health is concerned, it's about all the things we can do to be healthier in body, environment, and relationships. So it might include a weekly call to someone you love but aren't often in touch with. And in this way, you're rekindling relationships. Or maybe it's about a weekly decluttering of your home. So it goes beyond exercise and diet and things like that, though those also play a role here. But on the theme of heart body business, it's also about inner work, be that meditation or prayer or being in the present moment, which we'll speak a lot about over time. And of course, it's about business habits as well, habits around learning, planning, and action that moves you from where you are to where you want to be. Because with our direction or purpose in place, and our body and environment and relationships well supported, we have the focus and we have the energy to grow our business. And I mean in a way that fulfills us, that helps us to love business again. For entrepreneurs, this is the final outer expression that started within, that started with purpose. This is why we're heart, body, business in that order. Now, I want to end with why this is so important. Why, in fact, this is about more than just doing what we love as individuals and entrepreneurs. See, many people will look around the world today and feel it's in a crisis. But we know the old saying of every crisis being an opportunity. Truth is, if you look at history, we face a regular ebb and flow of monumental times and challenges. But in the midst of these, as the common man or woman looks at who to blame, few think to dream of what will emerge or where we take our next steps. Yet if consciousness plays a major role, in fact, the foundational role in the world we create, then the dreamers wield our future. There's a time to put out fires, sure, to address our daily needs, but we cannot lose ourselves to the point of never stepping back and envisioning where we're going, of where we want to go. This is what we need to do within our own lives to ensure business is an expression of our loves and our purpose. But what about the world in which we're running these businesses? And the world that can have so much impact on our health and our families in terms of food supply and keeping the environment clean and policies that direct our activities? We need to apply this same principle of stepping back and consciously choosing what we're constructing and apply it to the larger world, of holding our hearts and then our minds on a world where we can all express our highest selves and offer something special for ourselves, but also our loved ones and the generations yet to come. At Heart Body Business, my goal is to gather the dreamers and encourage them to dream and create from the heart. We'll start with dreaming our individual lives, but my intention is that we'll go beyond this. We'll be aware of the world's challenges, but we won't get lost in them. We'll place our hearts and minds on where we want to go from here. Otherwise, we leave the future of our own lives and businesses in other people's hands. We leave the planet's future in their hands as well. And where is the power in that? As a group who believes in this idea of heart-body business, I want us standing strong together and dreaming to create something beautiful for the good of all. Till next time, thanks for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe. You can also join our mailing list to get alerts on our latest episodes and other tips, tools, and news. Learn more and sign up at heartbodybusiness.com.